We're now live.
Yes. Hi, Ahmed. I will post some instructions on interpretation for everybody into the chat and personally. Yeah. Thank you.
We're now live now, Imogen.
Dear participants, welcome to this webinar. And I'll start by giving key information as we start this. And can I ask everybody and to make a kind request that you click the button below, which is written interpretation, so that you are able to switch either to English or to French, so that you are able to get the translations. We have the translator with us today, who is Mr. Ahmed Sow. This webinar yes, sorry for the interruption. So this webinar will share experiences from the project, which is entitled Pan-African Network for Arts in Environmentally Sustainable Development in Africa, which is funded by the UK Arts and Humanities Research Council and coordinated by the Institute of Development Studies. It builds on two other. So today, we will hear from 5 different countries that are represented in this project. One is Kenya. We have Mali, Mauritania, Ghana, and Senegal. We have a question and answer session for which we will use the chat. So please feel free to place questions and comments in the chat as we continue. Please feel free to introduce yourselves, especially where you work, the area that you work in, on the chat, and share links to any of your own project resources so that we can interact on the chat. We will be sharing information in the chat as well. We are from Aminata, who is a partner from 5 different presentations coming from the 5 different countries that I've mentioned. And then we will have a summary and an indication of the way forward before we open for a round of 20 minutes for the questions. So kindly allow me to give us the introduction of this project. I mean, if you can hear me, kindly unmute your mic and you can make your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Hello, everyone. Bonjour à toutes et à tous, c'est Aminata Niang, je suis chercheur et j'ai coordonné le travail, ce projet au niveau du Sénégal. Donc, je m'en vais rapidement vous dire c'était quoi les objectifs de ce projet. Donc, ce projet panafricain d'utilisation des arts dans le développement durable en Afrique, comme le précédent projet Citizen Voice, a réuni différents acteurs de la société concernés par les questions environnementales, notamment la question du changement climatique, la pollution, la dégradation des ressources en eau. Nous savons déjà que l'art peut être utilisé pour transmettre des messages importants. Cela s'est produit dans les différents contextes d'études, c'est-à-dire dans les 5 pays de ce projet, mais principalement sur des problèmes sociaux et politiques, mais aussi sur des problèmes environnementaux. C'est le cas, par exemple, dans les chansons de Malouma, musicien mauritanien, dans les œuvres de Wilfred Upcombe au Nigeria ou d'Abdoulaye Konaté au Mali. Dans ce projet, nous avons cherché à comprendre comment la création artistique pourrait se faire de manière collaborative et comment le processus de co-création artistique peut susciter un dialogue entre différents groupes. Quand je dis différents groupes, c'est entre chercheurs, les artistes, les décideurs, les parlementaires, les citoyens activistes, par exemple. Nous savons aussi qu'il est difficile de communiquer entre les groupes. Donc, nous voulions savoir comment les arts pouvaient être un moyen de développer une forme de communication, que ce soit par le biais d'un travail artistique collaboratif ou en utilisant simplement l'art comme forme de communication. Et vous allez voir dans les différentes présentations des pays comment effectivement nous avons travaillé de manière collaborative et participative autour d'une œuvre artistique. Par ailleurs, nous avons commencé à développer un réseau impliquant les partenaires du projet. Et dans ce réseau, cette plateforme, nous partageons les différentes expériences au Sénégal, au Mali, au Ghana, au Kenya et en Mauritanie. Donc aujourd'hui, ce que nous voulons, c'est élargir ce réseau à plus de personnes qui travaillent sur les mêmes thématiques et à ceux qui pourraient souhaiter utiliser les méthodes que nous avons utilisées dans ce projet et explorer avec nous d'autres façons de collaborer à travers l'art. Donc, nous invitons aux participants, aux invités de ce webinaire de se joindre à ce réseau. Donc, voici brièvement c'était quoi les objectifs donc, de ce projet. Merci pour votre attention. Peter, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Aminata, for the introduction about the project. And now you'll allow me to get to the 5 presentations from the different countries before we come to the summary of this. In this case, we expect to have each country where we hand workshops conducted with the different groups of policy, citizen, research, and artist stakeholders got together to do some types of collaborative artistic activity on an important environmental issue they were concerned with. So we have a diversity of different issues that were tackled by the various 5 different groups in the 5 different countries. So to start with, allow me to welcome Ferry and Mariam. Ferry and Mariam from Mali, and they'll be able to present to us an issue which was captured through painting and a poem. And Ferry and Mariam, if you can hear me, kindly unmute your mic and you can make your presentation. And kindly also Aminata, if you've forgotten to unmute, kindly do that. Thank you and welcome, Ferry and Mariam.
Bonjour, chers panélistes, chers participants. Je suis Ferimata Diakite, responsable du projet au Mali, du groupe de recherche en économie appliquée et théorique. Je pense que Ferry et Mariam ne vont pas participer. Peut-être même si elles participent, elles ne vont pas dire quelque chose. Donc, je vais représenter le Mali en tant que responsable du projet. Donc, le Mali fait partie des 5 pays du réseau panafricain. Et là, je suis ravie d'être présente au Mali. Dans l'atelier, nous sommes appuyés sur l'expérience de notre projet précédent, La Voix citoyenne, où nous avons composé une chanson sur les préoccupations générales concernant l'environnement avec l'artiste Mariam Kone.
Abe kule, ukolobe kulela. Abe nyani, ukolobe nyanina. Abe muna, ukolobe munana. Wale segena, namalakana abetami, abetami. Kana chino babo kenema benyana. Kanyamambo mbedala kabetoro. Kana wulu fili kare kono soso kabeki. Kana beba na sigidala kibese kola. Manachio mon succès. Mon paysage, mon espoir. Ma forêt, ma vie. Mon pays, mon environnement. Abe pule, ukolobe pulela. Abe nyani, ukolobe nyanina. Abe muna, ukolobe munana. Wale segena, namalakana abetami, abetami. Kana jiri tige kita no blaka bakoye. Kawula jeni kufete kabetoro. Kakalaji bombaji kona wotekoye. Kabela fiansi dala osebie. Ma vie, ma culture, ma toile, ma passion. La terre, ma planète. Ma santé, mon environnement. Abe pule, ukolobe pulela. Abe nyani, ukolobe nyanina. Abe pule, abe nyani, abe muna. Wale segena, amalakana, abetami.
OK. Et la chanson de l'artiste exprime le souci de l'environnement et donne des directives sur la manière dont les citoyens peuvent le préserver. Dans notre atelier de co-construction avec les différents acteurs en août 2022, nous avons travaillé sur le thème de la rareté de l'eau pour créer un poème et une image. Le poème s'est appuyé sur les contributions de chacun pour transmettre un message simplifié. Il est assez difficile de transmettre toute la discussion avec les avantages et les inconvénients de chaque côté dans une œuvre d'art simple comme un poème. Le poème dont le titre est Kodjalan. Kodjalan, qui est une traduction littérale du Bambara en français, veut dire mar asséché ou tari. Ce sont en général les mares, les marigots et rivières au bras des différents fleuves secs que l'on rencontre pendant la saison sèche. Est le suivant, le poème est le suivant: sans eau, pas de végétation, pas d'animaux, pas de vie. Sans eau, pas de vie. L'eau, source de vie. L'eau peut tarir par la nature et par l'homme. Faisons de la lutte contre le tarissement des ressources d'eau une cause nationale. Laisser tarir nos sources d'eau, c'est nous mettre en danger. Face à l'environnement, léguons de bons comportements aux générations futures. L'eau, remède miracle. Les cours d'eau, source de miracles. Gérons intelligemment nos réserves d'eau. Assurons la survie de nos mares, lacs, marigots, et etc. L'eau, quelle merveille de la vie. Vénérons nos cours d'eau dans le ciel. Interdisons-nous de gaspiller l'eau. Agissons tous pour un monde bleu. Dans l'exercice de peinture, les artistes Ferimata Diakite et Mariam Jara ont préparé la toile et tous les participants ont ajouté à tour de rôle une image qui représentait leurs pensées et leurs sentiments. Certains d'entre eux représentaient des souvenirs et des sentiments. Par exemple, l'odeur de la pluie fraîche dont ils se souvenaient depuis leur enfance. Certains ont montré des pensées, par exemple, avec le point d'interrogation indiquant l'incertitude quant à l'avenir. La contribution de l'artiste professionnel a été importante pour faire de la pièce une pièce qui puisse communiquer. Dans ce cas, l'œuvre n'a pas seulement transmis un message, mais a agi comme un résumé de la discussion lors de l'atelier de Bamako. Merci de votre aimable attention.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Ferry, once more, and Mariam, for the wonderful presentation about the problem facing our drinking water. And now you allow me to bring another presentation from Ghana. And in this case, I would like to bring on board Mr. Ahmed, who will be making a presentation about the activities that have been done in Ghana. So Ahmed, if you can hear me, kindly unmute your mic and make your presentation.
Okay, I can hear you. Good morning to all. My name is Ahmed Barry. I'm from Ghana. I'm the national organizer for Tabitha Pulaaku International Ghana chapter. And also the president for the Fulani Youth Association of Ghana, activist against stereotyping against Fulanis in Ghana and Africa. Once again, good morning to all of you the panelists and our audience. Is that okay? Can I go ahead?
Yes, kindly go ahead.
That's fine. So we came up with this music. Actually, we held a workshop where we made a song about the relations between farmers, herders, and environment. In discussions, the theme for peace emerged strongly, although that wasn't our plan. Initial project proposed for the workshop. It was a major concern of the participants in the dialogue process. We found the skill of the artist essential in consolidating the many views into a simple message, and one that could tell the story. This did mean that the complexity of the whole discussion should not fit into the song. We chose to write the song in 5 languages because we also strongly felt that this should be a communication piece. You will hear the main refrain in English and the verses in Fulfulde, which happens to be the Fulani language, the language of the Pearl Herder people, as well as Hausa, Dagbani, and Twi, commonly spoken languages in Ghana. The Fulfulde Twi English was sung by our own Fulani brother from the northern region, colleague Donai Bijello. I think basically this is what we have come up with. I believe that the song will be played at the background, or more will be said about it very soon.
One for all for one. One for all for one. United we stand, divided we fall. One hand washes the other, that life may be better.
I'm your friend, you are my friend. We are friends, Theland and men. We are friends, and I'll be your friend until the end of time. Until the end. I'm your friend, you're my friend. We are friends, the Theland and men. We are friends, and I'll be your friend until the end of time. Until the end. Let's come together, let's help the nation, because we are one. We are one. Anyala pupara, kamenya pungula, tepusabara, tinyala zore tepusabara. Manya bukufela, desande tebunzira, katebungula nungi wahala, nungi wahala. So we don't Sabiyan friyan gotum Apulana akado Ekita tumbal tubako Heba sada jupito Hamre wala Hakune duro Wana Friyan gotum Wana Friyan gotum Muyitari da hankuri Sojuna, Mubiraga Malafia Saboda Kasamu, Yechikaba, Yamboa, Muyitari, Nahankuri, Sojuna, Mubiraga Malafia Saboda Kasamu, Yechikaba. Your friend, you're my friend, we are friends. Theland and men, we are friends. And I'll be your friend until the end of time. Until the end. I'm your friend. You're my friend. We are friends. The Theland and men. We are friends. And I'll be your friend until the end of time. Until we have many problems, we must solve them. Talk about it, yeah. Harmonize it. They come on the man, they come from the land, they come fits the land. Cow feeds the man, the land feeds the cow, cow on the man, so the man must take care of the cow on the land. Yahuwah muyitari da hankuri usojuna, ubiraga malafia saboda kasamu yechikaba. Yahuwah muyitari da hankuri Sojuna, Ubida Malafia Saboda Kasamu, your friend, you're my friend, we are friends. Theland and the men, we are friends. I'll be your friend until the end of time. I'm your friend.
We till to grow the proper. You're my friend. Land on it we graze our herd. It is man that tills to grow the herb. And it's man that will be the herd. This man must stop to harmonize, not in any way to jeopardize. Peace we need that the land may grow. Peace we need to feed the herd. We all friend. Peace we need to reap the seed we sow. Peace we need to the herd we hold. Peace, yes.
We are friends. I'll be your friend until the end of time.
Okay, I presume, Ahmed, you're through with the presentation. And thank you so much for highlighting the role of songs in different languages and how this can be used to bring peace among warring and conflicting communities, especially in this case on hunters and farmers in Ghana. So thank you so much, Ahmed. Kindly unmute yourself so that I bring on board Samba from Senegal, who will be making another presentation, which is a painting, which is capturing the activities that were done in Senegal. Samba, if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself and you make your presentation. Thank you.
Bonjour, j'espère que vous m'entendez. Bonjour les panélistes et bonjour les amis et merci de votre présence. Je me présente Samba Sarr, activiste plasticien environnementaliste à Saint-Louis du Sénégal. Et nous nous sommes engagés depuis 2012 pour utiliser notre art, vu que le menace des déchets et nous envahissent au Sénégal, et aussi la remontée de la mer et toutes les problématiques. Donc nous nous sommes engagés depuis 2012 pour sensibiliser la population à travers notre art. Donc, c'est ça qui nous a amené aujourd'hui de participer sur ce panel panafricain, comme on le dit. Donc, j'explique un petit peu ce qu'on a fait des ateliers tout récemment. Donc, nous avons réalisé 2 peintures, l'une sur le thème de la montée de la mer à Saint-Louis et l'autre sur la gestion des déchets. Après de nombreux échanges dans notre atelier, nous avons observé que le changement climatique a un effet social. En effet, ce sont les quartiers les plus pauvres qui sont les premiers impactés. Chaque participant a pu apporter sa contribution suivant une conception globale qui nous a amenés à ces 2 thèmes principaux, la montée de la mer et la gestion des déchets. Ces peintures nous communiquent une situation et non une directive sur la façon de se comporter. Il s'agit d'un message simplifié, guidé par moi-même, artiste environnementaliste, pour mener la pièce à sa conclusion finale, qui servira de moyen de communication. Je vous explique un petit peu du côté technique. Pour toucher la sensibilité des participants par rapport aux impacts négatifs de l'environnement, comme les déchets, nous avons récupéré différentes matières. Le papier qui nous a servi au schéma et au brouillon pendant l'atelier et qui finissent d'habitude dans les poubelles. Nous avons pu le réutiliser pour matérialiser les effets esthétiques des 2 toiles. Ceci nous enseigne de la préservation de notre environnement par rapport à la pollution. Merci pour votre écoute et pour cette belle journée d'échange et de collaboration constructive. Je vous remercie.
Thank you so much, Saba, for that presentation. We know we have a big challenge on climate change and how it is impacting our society and especially the vulnerable countries in Africa. Thank you for highlighting that. And now allow me to bring on board another presenter from Kenya, who is Gideon. And Gideon is going to present a painting which came as a result of the activities that were done in Kenya. Gideon, if you can hear me, kindly unmute your mic and make your presentation.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. This is Gideon Cheptarus from Kenya. I'm representing the Aror community, being the chairperson of the Land Farmers Cooperative. I'm representing here 2 communities where the study was done, and that is Ilchamus and Aror. I also want to say thank you to the Source Plus who undertook the mandate to carry out this study with KU and the IDS. I would like to say thank you because out of the study, our community got exposed, and that's why we're here today sharing with other key people in this world. And so out of this workshop that we held on April, we explored our art. Just a moment.
Yeah, continue, Gideon.
Sorry.
Contributed to the commercialization aspects. Continue.
Okay, so thank you. Sorry for the mismatch. Here we explored the future of commercialization of milk and honey in our agro-pastoral context. We worked in groups, and each group produced a sketch showing the type of packaging they would like to use to commercialize milk and honey. And from the sketches that you can see there, these images brought out discussion in small groups about the importance that we attach to income generation and dealing with the social effects of environmental change. Our discussion covered the idea that we could market traditional cultural products in a modern commercialized value chain. We shared this group drawn pictures with the artist who made them into a composite, into a professional composite image. I think that is the image. That image, in this way, this artwork was a reflection of parts of discussion similar to the Mali artwork and a bit different to some of the other pieces which had acted to convey a certain simplified message to the public. Let me speak about this image in slightly. From the image, it actually depicts the cultural aspect of the Aror community. You can see a woman standing there holding a gourd, which we store our fermented milk called murusik. You can see our beehives there. We have both modern and traditional. And also you can look at our cows there. That shows the pastoralism that we are practicing over here, and that's our source of wealth there. And so the participants, rather the community members, in a way expressed their thoughts and ideas using art to inform policy actors and the government to bring on board processing, packaging. So that's okay, the processing and packaging and of export of milk to other countries. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gideon, for that presentation. Realization aspect of milk and honey, which go hand in hand with our culture. And this is a very powerful image that you have displayed here, capturing all those aspects. Thank you so much. I request you, Gideon, to mute your mic so that I can bring on board Laye. Laye from Mauritania is making a presentation in form of a painting and a song of the activities that were conducted in Mauritania. Thank you and welcome, Laye, to make your presentation.
Oui, bonjour à tout le monde particulier. Donc, je ne sais pas si vous m'entendez, parce que je pense que c'est la connexion. Il y a un problème de connexion, donc si outside la région de connexion, je préfère intervenir.
La 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 la
La religion qui nous unit nous interdit de détériorer l'environnement. Et sa protection est un devoir commun.
كاملين نحافظوا البحر كاملين وتراب ونعسوا عليها كاملين ونحافظوا البحر كاملين وتراب ونعسوا عليها كاملين نحافظوا الإسلام كاملين هو في خير صح كاملين صح علينا ساتين كاملين رونين تحت كاملين نتحدوا كاملين ودوسيانين كاملين نعودوا فيها مساويين بلادنا لا نبنوها لا 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 لا
Le changement climatique, la protection de l'environnement et la diversité ensemble pour un monde meilleur.
كاملين نحافظوا للبحر كاملين كاملين وتراب ونعصوا عليها كاملين ونحافظوا للبحر كاملين.
Thank you, Laye, for the presentation of the song, which is highlighting the role of a song in bringing unity, especially in those segregated communities. Social segregation actually is counterproductive to addressing environmental issues. Thank you for highlighting that. Now, allow me to go to the next item, and the next item is about the summary of all these presentations that are coming from 5 different countries. And this summary will be captured by Rachel, and she will also give us the way forward with regard to all these presentations. Kindly allow me to ask if there is any question that you have. Kindly continue sending them to the chat so that after that, we will be able to look into those questions. So Rachel, if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself and you give us a summary and the way forward. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Peter. I hope everybody can hear me. Okay. We've had great presentations, and what is clear is that by experimenting with collaborative artworks in these 5 countries, we've learned that collaborative artworks are ways of communicating a message, but also a way of engaging in dialogue between diverse groups while the artwork is being created. It can be both. The process of making artwork together often serves to simplify complex discussions and messages. Because in some cases, like in the Ghanaian song and the Mali poem, the group wants to make a communication piece that has a clear message or directive, such as promoting peace, conserving water, or showing that sea even rises affect the poorest. In some other cases, the artwork acted like a summary of a conversation without necessarily one common message. This was the case in the pictures created in Mali and Kenya. We've learned that the artist and facilitator play some critical roles. Their skill is essential in making a credible communication piece. It's also very important to have a facilitator who can smooth the hierarchies and sectoral silos. In this context, there are social and professional divisions and hierarchies which can make the task of collaboration hard. The activity of working together in a joint artwork can allow people a way to communicate across this gap. It can especially allow citizens an outlet through which they can communicate to policy actors. This can happen in the process of doing an activity or simply when the artwork is presented to policy actors. But the skill of the facilitator or artist is needed to facilitate that connection. It's hard for artists or citizens to make that connection to policy on their own. Moving forward, We are continuing in summarizing our outputs. And here is our policy brief from the Citizen Voice Project, which has a French and English section. Here are also a couple of blogs from our project so far. More will be coming on our project pages, so please keep checking the project pages. Peter, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel, for that spirited summary of the presentations and also giving us the way forward. And now it comes to the time we said that we'll have some questions. We read some questions from you, and each of the questions will be directed to one of the speakers so that they are able to respond to the questions. And now I'll bring my colleague here, Eric, who has been collecting these questions so that he can read them and direct them to the specific speakers.
Thank you very much, Peter. Good morning and good afternoon to speakers from different parts of the world. Let me take the floor now and bring some of the questions that have been raised. We have a number of questions from the floor here at Kenyatta University, and therefore I will read them and more or less direct them to specific participants whom we worked with during this activity. The question number one comes from our colleague, Dr. Joseph Mureithi, who is seated behind me. And I will direct this question to Kaderi from Ghana and Ahmed, anyone that will be able to respond to this. What is the difference? What difference does it make if a song that is rendered by a particular socio-demographic category? Let me unpack it a little bit because I think it will be a little bit complex to read it like that. The song from Ghana and also I think from Mali has been rendered or produced and sung by adults. How powerful would it be if the same song is communicated by children? Would the reception be higher? So that is the question. Kaderi or Ahmed?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question to ask. When the question was asked, I was wondering myself, if children had sung this song, will it have been different? Will the message have been different? I think definitely with children, perhaps people would have had more ears to listen to the song very well. And I'm sure children would have made it more interesting, and it would have been interesting to have them speak on the particular topic that we are discussing. But one of the issues that is interesting in our particular case is the fact that we brought in different people from different backgrounds. From the opposing side, farmers, Fulani headers, policymakers, to all come together to make this song. So though the artists were the people who composed the song and sang it out to the public, it was actually the words from the participants of different people. And they feel that the message will resonate with people, especially the Fulani, the farmers, and other policymakers in Ghana. So children would have made it more interesting, but I think the participants themselves and the audience who will listen to the song with regard to the message that we wanted to convey to the people will make it even more interesting for these participants to listen to. So virtually no difference would have been made, but it would have been good to actually do it the other way and see. But I think the message was very clear to whoever that wanted to listen to it. And if you listen to the message that it had the message of peace, the issues of the environment, and how to actually ensure that there's coexistence between these groups in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kaderi. I think it's a comprehensive answer. I have a number of questions, and I would like to request that if the question is directed to you, that please you respond within a minute or so. There's a question from Imogen Bello Howard. I have a question to the artists like Samba. How far did you feel like you are putting your own ideas across? And how far did it feel like you're working with the community members? So Samba, the question is directed to you. Did you feel that you are sort of pushing your ideas across, or was the community active, and did they communicate the ideas as opposed to you passing the message across to them? Samba, please. Yes,
oui,
please.
Merci. Voilà. Ouais, merci beaucoup pour cette belle question. Donc, voilà, je suis satisfait que depuis qu'on a commencé à utiliser notre art pour sensibiliser, pour toucher les plus jeunes et les adultes, jusqu'à qu'on est arrivé là, vraiment, cette idée est accueillie vraiment par les adultes et par les enfants. Donc, vraiment, pour répondre plus simple, je suis très satisfait par rapport voilà, à ce projet, par rapport à ce système d'utiliser l'art pour sensibiliser, pour toucher la sensibilité des personnes et donner des solutions. Donc, je suis satisfait. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Samba. We have another question from Anastasia. This is directly from the chat room, and then I'll read some from here at the floor. Was there an estimated time for how long each of these creative outputs took to create? What were some of the biggest challenges? What were the major strengths? I don't know whom I should direct this to. Anybody with a hand up? The team that was working on this. Bronson, do you want to say something from the US? Yes, please.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon all. Thank you for that. So just to reiterate on that question, I hope I'm audible enough to everyone. So yeah, in terms of how long the estimated time took, it took around 45 minutes to bring the community together to come up, in this is in Kenyan context, with what was created in terms of paintings and all that. And one of the major challenges was to have communities and policymakers coming on board and working together. But eventually they managed to work together. And this was initially was a communication barrier, but with the strength, actually the major strength that came out of that was that that gap was breached, and there was enough flow of communication between the community and the policymaker through artwork. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bronson. Can I also direct the same question to Hausa, please? Hausa, please.
Oui, bon après-midi à tous. Moi, je m'appelle Samba Sarr et j'interviens depuis la Mauritanie. Et j'étais la personne qui était chargée de ce projet depuis le début. Je pense que nous avons pu travailler d'une manière très étroite avec les politiques. Nous avons amené les politiques à communiquer comme nous le voulions et comme on voulait que cela soit une communication propre à la société civile et aux politiques et surtout aussi aux décideurs. Et on a eu la chance de créer 2 ateliers où on a réuni politiques, artistes et décideurs. Et la société civile particulièrement qui s'est vue dans cette activité. L'art a été vraiment le moyen de communication le plus sûr pour réunir ces 3 parties. Et c'était une très grande découverte pour certains qui ont réussi à vraiment dégager beaucoup de solutions par rapport aux problématiques de l'art et des questions surtout de la cohésion sociale en Mauritanie, ce qui est d'ailleurs relaté par rapport à la chanson de l'IB et ce qui a été aussi relaté sur les tableaux de peinture qui avaient parlé de la déforestation, de l'insalubrité, de l'avancée de la mer et des inondations en Mauritanie. Vraiment, ça a été quelque chose de très instructif. Voilà, merci.
Thank you very much, Hossa. Just very quickly, as I go to the next question, I think the exercise to use art to pass simple messages is not easy, and especially if you're working with local communities, it's more even difficult when you're bringing policy actors on board. But I think the idea was to show that this can be done, that we can pass simple messages on some of the pertinent issues that, that affect our societies today. And I think this has its own strengths and of course, some challenges, as the two presenters have already said. There's one question from the floor here at Kenyatta University, and I would like to directly send this to Imogen because we've not had a speaker from IDS. How do we make the art or the use of art have an intergenerational appeal? How can we make this kind of art have an intergenerational appeal? Thank you. Imogen?
Yeah, thank you, Eric, for that question. I think what we learned in this project is that different types of art do speak to different groups, different people. And we did learn that in the particular context, there is generally one type of art that has some cultural resonance. So I think it's about finding the type of art that people are maybe receptive to, familiar with. But there's another aspect as well, which is that we learned that the skills of the artist are so important. And when we have a really skilled artist, whether they're a professional or actually just a very talented person, often their talent can just cut through and create a piece that really captures people's emotions and captures people's attention. So I think it's half about choosing the right form of art, but it's also half about the skill of the artist. And that will cut across generations if the message is strong and the aesthetics of the artwork are very powerful. Thanks a lot.
I have I think one or two more questions left because we have to conclude the discussion. This is from Innocent Ngare, Dr. Innocent Ngare from Kenyatta University. And I think I might direct this to one of the participants from the Aurora community. Gideon, if you can be able to answer this. Art is a cultural identity to most communities. How does art cater for inclusivity to address cross-cutting environmental challenges? In other words, the songs that we listen to, the paintings, are cultural specific. They are from the Aurora, they are from the Ghanaian people, they are sung in Fulani languages. Can this also appeal to other cultural identities or to other cultural groups? Gideon?
Yes, thank you, Eric. From the discussions from across the African countries, from the songs and the poems, I can say that there is a close relationship between the artwork in all the countries and Kenya itself, that is the Aurora community. There is some communication that's directed to the environment. And so there is a close relationship between the two. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think as a continent and I think as a globe, we face more or less similar environmental or climatic challenges. And therefore, I think I concur with that answer that these kinds of messages, even if they are produced by a specific cultural group, could still appeal to others. We see songs being produced in the US, for instance, and they are sung across the world. So that is the same kind of a feel that we have, the kind of output that we have in this in this activity. We have a question that was posted in French. Let me see whether the translation has come through. Lamine from Senegal says, the theme is very interesting. what is the place of communities in this artistic production? That is question number one. The production of activists can be different from the story and the imagination of communities. This can, in my opinion, reduce the impact that art must have on their this can, sorry, more chats are coming and I'm losing. So I have to, so what is the place for communities in this artistic production? The production of activists can be different from the story and the imaginations of communities. I think that is the main point that I get from here. That does the voice come from the communities, or does it come from the activists or the artists that produced this? May I send, may I have who? Nicholas, we haven't heard your voice today. Do you feel that the community, this was the voice of the community, or did the artists impose the message to the communities?
Okay, I think from the art drawings and the arts we did previously, I think communities also represented through the art. So through the art, communities are able to present their culture and the way of preserving such commodities like milk, honey. So I think through the art, the community can participate and present and well represented. So I think it's art also assists through the participation of the communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. I think we can still continue the discussion, but due to the interest of time, allow me to just take a minute to thank the Arts and Humanities Research Council for the generous funding. I also want to take this opportunity to thank IDS for a well-done activity, which was collaborative. I also want to thank the Source Plus as our development organization that we worked with closely, and also ourselves, Kenyatta University, as the lead scientists that was involved in this activity. I want to thank all the community members that were involved. I know most of them are represented here. You gave us the access to your communities. You gave us information. The reception was exceptional, and we want to really appreciate you. If we have any policy actors that we worked with here, I want to really give you a hands up, because it was not easy to bring policy actors into this activity. I want to also thank the artists. It is not easy to sit and come up with these kind of messages that are shared by different people from different communities and package them into something like a painting or a song, as we have seen. So I want to appreciate all the artists for the good job done. I know this took quite a lot of time. We may have only worked with you for a day, but you took months to be able to capture all these kinds of messages and bring them into one piece. I also want to thank all our international partners from Ghana, Senegal, Mauritania, Mali. We have learned a little bit of French. I hope you'll learn some little Swahili as we move forward. We appreciate the entire participants team that is online and our colleagues here. With those few remarks, let me still appeal to IDS and to the Arts and Humanities Research Council that this was a well-thought project, and we would want to engage in more similar projects where we can pass information concerning some of the environmental challenges in very simple ways, in very simple words that can resonate around the world. With those few remarks, I want to bring Peter for a closing remark. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Eric, for taking us through the question and answer session. And this was wonderful. We got questions from different perspectives, which we expected, because this is a journey which is continuing, and we want to bring on board different stakeholders and also participants to grow this network. And just to mention that it is a great honor that we have to say thank you to all the virtual participants for joining this webinar. And I will encourage you to liaise with the person who had invited you for this meeting to know more about this project and the networks that exist so that you can become part of these networks. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm glad that I led this meeting and it has come to a closure with a lot of learning and engagement. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
Merci et au revoir.
Thank you, Peter.